This is my full-length live podcast I do exclusively for members of Maximus Premium. And if you want to join Maximus Premium, and you should join Maximus Premium because it's required membership, if you would, for the elections coming up and beyond, right through 2024. I'm telling you guys, contact Roxy Balboa, the number one, at gmail.com. And I'm actually joined here today with Roxy. Roxy's actually in the studio with me. Hey, Rox.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
I'm good. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was great. It was very refreshing. I spent a lot of time in the gym. I spent a lot of time in the gym working out. I watching movies, eating, spent time with the family.
Hey, that's the American dream.
I'm telling you, it's the absolute truth. It's the absolute truth. So,
well, that's good because we have a lot of questions about health and fitness today. So hopefully you're all pumped up.
You're joking me. Seriously? I guess that came across to some people because I was just like, oh my gosh, okay. I mentioned that I was doing this workout or that, and I was thinking I don't think anyone's going to pay any attention to that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do my best to answer. Full disclaimer though, I'm not a professional what do they call them again? Trainer. I'm not a what are those trainers called again?
Personal trainer?
Personal trainer. I'm not a personal. I've done, believe it or not, I have done that, but it's usually for friends and family. I've never, I'm not that. But I'll give you, in my opinion, what I do, and people can extrapolate from that what they will. But anyways, so let's and how you doing? How's everything going? Great for you?
I'm good. Yeah, everything's good. Had a great weekend.
Oh, that's good. Restful.
Yeah.
Did you
restful?
Oh, that's good. That's what we're here for. So
barbecues, pool, all the good stuff that you do on Labor Day.
I know what you're talking about. It's really blessed. So anyways, but so what do we got? So I'm here to answer. So we'll be doing MAGA Bytes, and this is actually, I'm going to upload a tease to people on YouTube so they just get a first few minutes of it so they know what they're missing if they're not a member of Maximus Premium, which they should be a member of, or Maximus Forever Premium. That's the official title. And I'm just going to answer a lot of questions. And we do these live. And as it is right now, I'm looking in the room and we got dozens and dozens of people that are already in the room. They're listening in. So I'll be answering questions as best as I can. And Roxy and I tag team this podcast. And so what do we got? What do you got for me? I haven't looked at all the questions. I've just skimmed them in the last couple of minutes here. So what do we have?
We got a lot of good stuff today, like I said. And thanks, everybody, for submitting your questions. And let's kick it off. So what do you think that Biden's administration and have anything up their sleeve, like nefarious, regarding the 2022 Senate seats that are in play? You think they're going to try to do something to keep them?
I know there have been a few articles on the Federalist and whatnot alleging that. I think that you got to remember elections are run by the states and the cities and the local communities. And so it's not a federal issue. There's no federal election law that was passed. So, I really don't see what agency, as far as agencies, I think it's coming from the idea that he has a few of the federal agencies are trying recruiting drives to register people, like I think HUD is doing that. That's probably going to be enjoined by a court eventually. And I don't think that's going to have any real issue. The reason is because, for one thing, HUD's probably working in a lot of urban areas which are Democrat anyway, so I don't think there's going to be much change there. And there's only so much you can get the vote out in those areas. But I'm not really too concerned about that. I think that, because you're looking at it, and it's states like Texas, Florida, Iowa, North Carolina, pretty much the rest of the South, most, if not all of the Midwest, with the exception of Illinois. Those states are so red and they're so dominated by the GOP. I don't really feel that, anything that through executive fiat that Biden can do is going to have much of any effect on the 2022 elections. Too little, too late. And the numbers are all baked in. And if you're looking at it, and I've been posting on all my channels about this, and especially for members of Maximus Premium, you guys get all the details because I keep going down and I'm further analyzing anything I find. And the fact is that I just see the Republicans are probably anywhere from 4 to 5 to 7 points ahead. If we're being honest, in the congressional ballot, and that's like doomsday for Dems. So there's not enough. There's not really much you can do by pushing out a few more votes in some urban areas to offset that.
Right. So they would love to hear your thoughts on how long a review by the special master of the raid documents may take. What's your timeline thinking on that?
You know, that's up in the air. I mean, they could move fast with it, maybe 30 days. It could be 2, 3, 4, 6 months. It could become like a Durham thing. I mean, it's really hard to like ballpark a federal investigation or any investigation. I mean, that could just take forever. It depends on the circumstances. The fact that this is being ordered by I think it was a Florida federal judge, right? And it was a conservative judge, I think it was. And it's has to do with a former president. I would think it's going to be a quick investigation, but being that you're dealing with the Department of Justice and they'll pull every maneuver, it could be dragged out. I don't think it's going to have any impact though on the 2022 elections though. So, I mean, they probably will resolve this before the beginning of next year though.
Yeah.
That's just a guess.
Well, yeah, but the most important thing is, like you said, that it's not going to have any effect on what's going to come in the next couple months.
No, not at all. No, and if anything, it galvanized support for Donald Trump. So, not at all.
Yeah. So, gearing towards the next couple of months, what do you think the first 3 things are that Congress should do once we win back the majority?
The first 3 things. First thing that the House should do is start investigations, and the Senate should start their own counterpart investigations into the Biden administration and start looking for details with the Hunter Biden. That's all I'll just say. I don't want to go into depth on that, but that's what they really should be doing on that level. I think also they should start investigations into the Afghanistan withdrawal, which I think was a disaster, and I think he should be impeached just on those grounds. So those are 2 things that they should do as far as Biden goes. The other thing is they should start reining in the federal agencies through congressional actions and investigations. And if you can't do anything else, just do a bunch of investigations, keep pulling them before you, and keep asking questions as to what the Department of Justice, the FBI, and all them, whatever they have been doing. That's what I think they should start doing. I also think that they need to put pressure on I would communicate with Biden directly and the administration and start saying, hey, look, you're not going to get another piece of legislation through, and you've really got nothing through anyway, unless you come to the middle. So where can we do business together? And that's called politics. But, maybe there's a cooler head in the administration, I doubt it, that would sit down with them and you can start actually kind of like getting some things done. Like, let's start reining in inflation. Let's actually try to work on reining in inflation. Let's try to get the economy stimulated. Let's try to make better paying jobs and get out of this COVID mess. But I don't know if they're going to do anything like that. And then of course, one thing the Senate has to do, and McConnell, if he's the majority leader, needs to do this, and that is stop all appointments or approvals or confirmations of any judicial nominations. So they should hold them all up.
Good. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff we got to get moving on once we win those seats back, and we got to be there. We got to be there putting pressure on them too. The people that we vote in, right? I mean, we got to be calling their offices and make sure that they're doing what we elected them for.
Absolutely. That's absolutely right. Yeah, I agree. And that's and hopefully, I think we probably will. See a lot of pro MAGA, if you would, outcomes as a result of the elections in November going into 2023. I think you will at the congressional level, because as a matter of fact, there are going to be a whole lot more MAGA Republicans in the U.S. House than there are today. So you just have to kind of get ready for that.
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit here, I mean, I know a lot of people were upset about what Scott Presler was tweeting yesterday. Do you think that that was just like a gimmick to get people to get them fired up to get out there and vote?
I mean, it's a possibility. I don't usually I don't buy the whole three-dimensional chess thing too much with everything. I mean, I think there's some of that goes on with some of these individuals, but I don't necessarily know whether that was his intention. I agreed with what he said, though. If Republicans voters don't get involved, we probably will end up losing races we could have won. It's simple math. And the states one of the states he pointed out, like Arizona, has clearly got issues. I've been pretty blunt about that at all my seminars, which everybody here should be attending my seminars. And the next one's going to be, September 23rd to the 24th.
Yeah.
So you guys want to sign up for that? I know a lot of you actually already reserved seats, and a lot of you are signing up for it, which is really great. So that's good. So yeah, you want to be there, but the
anti-federalist.
The anti-federalists. We're going to be talking about peaceful ways, legal ways to resist tyranny, among other things, and how the founding fathers, we had this problem with federalism and anti-federalism going back to the 1700s, and the anti-federalists were literally they were the forerunners of the Democratic Party, and they were the ones that bequeath us so many of our rights, and it's ingrained in our. It's really interesting because we talk about being federalist. Take for instance the great conservative online magazine, The Federalist, right? I mean, the thing is though, there was a whole element out there that didn't like federalism. They didn't like the federal government. They felt it was encroaching on their rights in the 1790s. In the 1780s, they felt this way. So, this sort of argument about, hey, we don't like the federal government because they're encroaching on our rights as states and as individuals. This goes back to our founding. These arguments have been going on for generations. And so it's nothing new under the sun, the scripture says. So there's nothing new under the sun, Ecclesiastes 1. So, we've got the same arguments being raged now, just in the names have changed and some of the events have changed, but the general premise is that the federal government's too big and it's encroaching on the rights of citizens and states. And so we'll be talking about all of that at my next seminar, and we're going to put it in light of what we're going on today is in this country. So if you've been to my other civics seminars, you want to attend this one. It's just another class that follows what I've already been teaching on, builds on what I've been teaching on. So Civics Maximus, the Anti-Federalist. But the fact is that, and contact Roxy and contact Eyes and contact the Angels and the Warriors if you want to sign up. Their handles and Roxy's email. But the thing is that with regards to the encroachments, and what was the question one more time? Because I got off on that. So what's the question one more time, Rox? Just hit me one more time. Follow up question.
What were we talking about? I got so into what you were saying.
I know. I just go off. Well, my mind's circuitous, so I keep going around and I keep thinking of I do this all the time, and then the students are just like writing, and their whole notebook is just like one massive note. It's like every bit of it is just like filled with words. They're just sitting there. I'm like, what are you writing? And then they're actually writing down, what are you writing with a question mark? I said, no, don't put that down in your notebook. You don't have to put that down. But you're not a transcriber. So I'm like, but
that's how captivating you are. And everybody, if you haven't attended a seminar, it's the same way. I mean, you just get so lost in like what he's saying. It's just so informative, and you're just like waiting for the next word.
Well, I spent a lot of time in school, and I spent a lot of time, many thousands of hours studying different subjects, and so here I am. I'm trying to share all this with everybody, but But we
were talking about Presler, and if he was, if what he was doing was, a tactic to just garner people up.
I think so. I mean, it could have been, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really know for certain, but I agreed with generally what he said there. He was right. That's why I said he was right the other day. I mean, I'll call it like it is. And the fact is that you have people out there that just don't want to do anything at all. Like they don't, and then they're going to like get upset on election. Like, what well, they, we lost that state. Mike Pence. I mean, that's what they do, Remember the whole Mike Pence.
Well, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Pressler was tweeting yesterday about there being he called it basically a trickle and not a red wave, because people just don't want to, get out there and vote and get involved and become poll watchers and whatnot. So that's what we're referencing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think we have to just, I hope he can keep, and I also think he was a little tired. I think I mentioned that too. He was a little tired with, because he's out there, working all the time too. And, he's probably seeing it, that he's probably getting a little disgusted by the way some people act, and they're not really interested, and they make excuses and whatever. So, that's just, I don't know for certain, but I'm just guessing,
Plus, if he's spending time near New York, that'll be enough to get you depressed there. I'm just kidding.
It's true. No, it's like, let's start talking about how bad it is in New York. But anyway.
So, looking at 2024, what do you think could stop Trump from winning? Do you think it would be because of fraud, or do you think it would be some other things that can come into play?
I think, there's a good chance apathy could come into play. I mean, you see it in states like back in January of last year when we lost Georgia. That was a direct result. In the Senate races, the 2 Senate races in Georgia, and Warnock's election was strictly apathy. People were disgusted, and they didn't go vote. And that's how we ended up with Senator Warnock. That to me is, I've never blamed it on anything but the voters in Georgia. That race was thrown. You can get mad if you want. I couldn't care less if you disagree with me. That's a fact. It was just certain people telling people not to vote resulted in the loss of Georgia. I've never felt any differently. It's never been proven any differently to me. And I'm talking about for the Senate races. I think apathy is something we need to guard against. I think that ties into what Pressler's worried about. I think on the other case there, it's I think a primary where you have DeSantis versus Trump it would be destructive to the GOP. There's no reason for these two men that agree on so much to ever vie against each other. They should be working together. So I don't think that's ever going to happen, mind you. But I think if there is a primary where you have a serious Republican challenge to Donald Trump in 2024, that could be devastating long term, because essentially your opponent in the primary is doing all of the work doing the work of the Democrats. He's trying to destroy Donald Trump, and vice versa. Donald Trump would be trying to crush whoever his opponent is. And you don't need that. We need to unify. So I think that's a very important thing. I also think that people need to become very active in all of their elections. And we see this with people in our rooms. There are members of Maximus Premium that are members of my channels that are getting involved.
Yeah,
something
that's great.
Emphasizing. And I love the fact that I keep reading that. Guys are doing fantastic, because I've been preaching that for over a year and a half to people. People attend the seminars. I talk about that a lot at the seminars, what different ways you can get involved. I mean, we know, for instance, Eyes, who's one of the Max's angels, one of my angels, she's very involved, and you can always contact her directly. She'd help hook you up with whatever the Republican Party is in your state to help you become active. And I think canvassing is very important, getting voter registration drives, working at working the polls during the elections, being a poll watcher. All of these things are very important. Don't discount being a poll watcher, because they loaded up on poll watch. Yeah, they loaded up on poll watchers in Virginia, and look what it resulted in. So it's I think that's very important. So anyway,
Virginia is our litmus test, right? I mean, it's our blueprint for what we got to do going forward.
Absolutely. And I want to stop here and say, you're listening to MAGA Bytes. This is my exclusive live podcast for members of Maximus Premium. So if you want to hear more on MAGA Bytes, you want to contact, who do they want to contact, Roxy?
Oh, I don't know. Me. Contact me.
Contact her. You don't want any more emails? You get what is it? You get 300-400 emails every couple of days. So it's.
I get a lot. I get a lot.
She loves getting emails. Send her an email.
And I try to respond to everybody as soon as I can, but I appreciate your patience when it takes me a little longer than usual.
Yeah, and we really do appreciate that. And you could DM her. You DM her. I know you get dozens of DMs all the time. So sometimes they're just like one word: join. I don't know. What
I'm
that,
a
I don't
busy
know.
I'm a busy angel.
You really are. You really are. But you're
Yeah, I get the
wonderful.
one-liners. I get the one-liners. I get the highs. I get the waves. I like the waves too. The waves are always
The
my
waves,
favorite.
the waves are the waves are fun. Sometimes they send you hearts, though. A lot of people do. They show some love,
I
right?
do. I get a lot of love, and I love you guys back. I really do.
I'm telling. Yeah, you see, that's so sweet. I'm like, wait, contact
All right,
Roxy.
but enough about me. Enough about me.
All right,
Let's
all
get
right.
back to you. You're the star.
I try. I don't know about. Okay, well, I'll try it. Let's do the best. Throw me another one. What do you got? I'm not.
Okay. All right.
I haven't prepared for these, so I'm going totally organic. Like I often say, that's my key word these days. Go organic. Let's go.
Let's go organic.
I just throw it at me. I'm like Newt Gingrich. I don't come in prepared. Just throw it at me, and I can debate with you. Let's go.
All right. Let's
You
talk
know.
about PA.
So it's. I think that's very important. So anyway,
Virginia is our litmus test, right? I mean, it's our blueprint for what we got to do going forward.
absolutely, absolutely. And I want to stop here and say you're listening to MAGA Bytes. This is my exclusive live podcast for members of Maximus Premium. So if you want to hear more on MAGA Bytes, you want to contact. Who do they want to contact, Roxy?
Oh, I don't know. Me. Contact me.
Contact her. You don't want any more emails. You get like what is it? You get like 300-400 emails every couple of days. So it's.
I get a lot. I get a lot.
She loves getting emails. Send her an email.
And I try to respond to everybody as soon as I can, but I appreciate your patience when it takes me a little longer than usual.
Yeah, and we really do appreciate that. And you could DM her. You DM her. I know you get dozens of DMs all the time. So sometimes they're just like one word: join. I don't know.
I'm a busy angel.
You really are. You really are. But
yeah, I get the one-liners. I get the one-liners. I get the highs. I get the waves. I like the waves too. The waves are always my favorite.
The waves are fun. Sometimes they send you hearts, though. A lot of people do. They show some love.
I do. I get a lot of love, and I love you guys back. I really do.
I'm telling. Yeah, you see, that's so sweet. I'm like, wait, contact.
All right, but enough about me. Enough about me. Let's get back to you. You're the star.
I try. I don't know about. Okay, well, I'll try it. Let's do the best. Throw me another one. What do you got?
Okay.
I'm not. I haven't prepared for these, so I'm going totally organic. Like I often say, that's my key word these days. Go organic. Let's go.
Let's go organic.
I just throw it at me. I'm like Newt Gingrich. I don't come in prepared. Just throw it at me, and I can debate with you. Let's go. There's variables that are in play, but they're going there's not just because people just waking up and registering Republican, right? That's part of it, but also because Democrats are leaving. So that's creating a net result. I think in Florida, it's like 317,000 or something like that, numbers over 300,000 increase in net Republican registration since 2020. That's not just driven by people registering Republicans off the streets. It's also Democrats leaving or causing that net. And where are they going? They're picking other states to go. So they go to Aspen, right? They move to LA. They move to the West Coast, and they're leaving Democrat. They're leaving Republican enclaves the same way Republicans are fleeing those states and heading to Texas and Florida. They're leaving, California. They're leaving states like New York, and they're moving to Florida and Texas. Some states like New Jersey and Oregon are having Republican turns, so they're slowly migrating. Especially New Jersey, you see 74,000 more registered Republicans now than there were 2 years, and that's unusual because that's up in the Northeast. And it's like, okay, this is interesting. But you saw what's going on in the last election in 2021 in November when they almost elected a Republican governor. So New Jersey's one of those states that's very blue, that's going through a transformation. In 10 years, it could be a very competitive swing state. I mean, I would not be surprised if if it's 2032 and we're talking about New Jersey being a major swing state. I wouldn't be surprised about that. If suddenly Democrats are on the defense there, look what happened to the Great Lakes area. Look at Michigan, Wisconsin, look at Pennsylvania. Those states there all swung heavy to the Republican column in the last decade, not just because of Trump. He just solidified it, but they were heading in that direction for years, and they just finally became competitive. I mean, you go back 12 years ago, no, those were locks for the Democratic Party, no more. Even Minnesota slowly migrating to the right. So where are they moving to? Well, they got to move someplace, and they're typically moving largely to California. It's just becoming this big, heavy, wasted vote state full of Democrats. They're all moving there, making it into their new country. And then to a lesser extent, you see them going to places like Colorado and I guess Kansas.
Yeah.
Well, I think if it was me, it depends. I mean, it depends on your age. It depends on your overall health. But I think getting together with your doctor and a personal trainer, putting yourself on a new diet, changing your diet, that's a huge part of it. Eating is a huge part of it. You are what you eat. So I definitely would think you don't have to change your diet around. Also, I would just start with very light weights and start with calisthenics. Walking is a great way. Just going out for a walk every day, a couple times, 2, 3, 4 times a week, and just starting with some cardio like that, and then just start seeing if you're noticing a change after a week or two on the scale or in the mirror. And you want to take it easy, but I think it's just getting out there and doing it. Someone once told me when I was a kid, because I was overweight as a child and my early teens, and I said, I was going to start tomorrow, and he went to me, tomorrow never comes. And I kind of stuck with me. So I ended up, I think I was 15 or 16 at the time. So I ended up going to the gym the next day and started lifting. I lifted the weights, I like that to myself, and it's like
lift things up and I put them down.
Yeah, I lift them up and I put them down, and it was that kind of a thing. And, but it became it became second nature to me. And then I had to get books on it and start reading magazines on it, because I had no idea what I was doing the first few months. I didn't have a clue. I just went in there and used to work out every body part, like every other day or every day. Sometimes I was doing the same body. So I had a lot to learn, but, it's just getting out there and doing it.
And I always remember what Steven Seagal said in an interview, that he was, when they asked him, what do you recommend the most? And he said to find a master, or whatever term he used, and stick with him. Like, you find one master, a good one, and you stick with it, because you learn everything you can from that one person. That way you don't get like an influx of different styles, and it gets confusing. So what do you think about advice like that?
I think that's a sound piece of advice. I'm not one of the people that hate Steven Seagal. I actually like Steven Seagal. I think so. I'm not one of those people that spend their lives online trolling every video that he ever appears in. You see those people that just, it's like they're out there and they hate Steven Seagal and they just go on. He's fat. He's Mr. Buffet, whatever. And he actually. There's his arrogance. Yeah, I see it, especially when he was young. He was very, very arrogant. But, the thing is that, as far as Aikido goes, he knows his stuff, and you may not like that style. I'm not like a big fan of it, but it's still a respected martial art, and he knows his stuff. And yeah, his films don't confuse his films, which are choreographed, with the fact that he did, before he became an actor, he was teaching actors and different people in Los Angeles. He had his own dojo, and so he was teaching them the arts, and he had many masters from Japan who taught him, attending there, and grandmasters, and all of that's, he goes back, because he learned I think he learned in the 70s, or maybe it was the 60s and 70s. He learned his art over there, because he spent a lot of time over there in Japan. So yeah. I don't want you just sit around and go, no, he doesn't know what yeah. So I think that's true. You want to learn from one person, though. That's as much as you can. And then, if you want to go into a different art and learn it, that's fine too. Like some people like Jean-Claude Van Damme, they're experts in, like, think 2 or 3 arts. I think, somebody like Chuck Norris, I think was, I think mostly karate, if I remember correctly. And it's been a while since I looked up his background, but they're experts in a couple of different arts, so that's fine too, if that's what you prefer.
Oh yeah, I mean, it depends how much you want to dedicate your life to it.
Yeah, exactly.
No. All right. Well, that's a wrap. That's all the questions that we have for now.
That was fun. That was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody enjoyed it. Make sure you make a comment. Tell everyone how you liked it. And we're going to upload later on, maybe today. I'm going to upload the first few minutes of it to give everybody a treat onto YouTube and let them know, let all my followers know, hey, this is what you get if you're on Maximus Premium around the clock. And, you're on around the clock. Yeah, if you become a member, you'll get this. And it's one of the many treats. I hope you're enjoying Maximus Premium. Definitely give me your feedback, guys. And let us know. Thumbs up, hearts, you name it. Send a message. Don't forget to sign up for Civics Maximus, the Anti-Federalist, the 23rd and the 24th. And then contact the Angels and the Warriors and reserve seats for Civics Maximus 2022, the midterms update. I'll be doing that. What is it? October 24th, Roxy, and the 25th? Is that what it is? And
it's 26th to 28th.
No, I don't think that's it. I'm
sorry. It's the 24th. It's the 24th to the 25th, and then the encore is the 28th to the 29th.
Okay, of October. So you want to reserve seats for those because I'll be going through all the races from coast to coast, Senate, House, governors, and we'll talk about the state legislative bodies. And I'll give you my projections. And this will be about 1 to 2 weeks before the election. So then you guys can see how accurate I am. And we'll see. I know some people are going to be going, he's 180 to 0 or 190 to 0, or maybe I'm probably going to miss a few. But,
Francisco will be keeping score. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, so definitely want to reserve seats for that. Tell all your friends. Word of mouth is the best kind of advertising. So I appreciate that.
Sure is.
Thank you for your support and your love, guys. And we will see you at the next MAGA Bytes. And talk to you later. Okay?
Talk to you guys later. Have a great day, everyone. Peace out.
Peace out.